There we go. Hey, Instagram. Hey, Facebook. Hey, ladies. So it did take me a while. I have not used StreamYard in a while, but I'm a little bit early. I came on like a minute early, so we'll give some people time to come on. As you come on, let me know that you're here. It's been a while. Hey, Latoya from South Carolina. Thank you for tuning in. I'm a minute early, so I'm gonna give a couple of people some time to come on. Hey, Instagram. How y'all doing? How's your week going? Are you expecting big things? That thing that you're hoping and praying for? Are you believing for it? Or are you just praying for it? Let me know in the comments. Hey, Imperial Faith from Georgia. Yes, ma'am. But glory to God. I'm glad you're here. Right on time. All right. Hey, y'all. So I have Instagram up here. So if you see me looking this way, I have Instagram. And then this way, I have YouTube. And I have the Facebook Single Mother Empowerment and Encouragement Group. So again, thank you, ladies, so much for tuning in. As you come in, hashtag live or hashtag replay, and let me know if you're watching live or if you're watching a replay. Also, let me know where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from. So welcome to the Single Mother Life Empowerment Hour. I'm so excited to do this. My name is Latasha. For those who hasn't been, watching the YouTube channel or watching the videos, and I am on a mission to promote wellness in mind, body, and spirit to single mothers all over the world. So the purpose of this empowerment hour is to help you understand that an abundant mindset and a scarcity mindset is really a thing. We tend to overlook the mindset, in our life. Hey, Facebook user, Live Mobile, Alabama. So, go ahead and I don't know if you allow StreamYard to post your name, but there should be a link so that I can see who it is. Um, and I'll answer comments and questions towards the end so that I won't get distracted because I kind of get distracted. Um, we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but I hope you're still on Facebook. If not, I'll upload the replay to Facebook. Excuse me. But the purpose of this empowerment hour again is to help you understand that an abundant mindset and a scarcity mindset is really a thing. And my goal is that by the end of this hour, you will feel empowered to begin a journey towards transition from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. Now, we'll go ahead and we'll begin with an unpopular topic. Like a lot of people don't talk about a scarcity mindset, but a lot of us have a scarcity mindset. And it could be an ongoing thing, or sometimes it just depends on your situation, what you're going through, that will determine if you have that abundant mindset or if you have that scarcity mindset. And especially as single moms, most of us were raised by single moms, so we have experienced the hardship of life, not having enough, or we watched our mom struggle to make ends meet. And then, even in our own life, as single moms, we experience the hardships of life. We struggle to pay the bills. We struggle to pay, rent month to month. We struggle to keep clothes on the kids' back because they grow so fast. And we barely have more money. We have more month than we have more money. So trust me, I get it, y'all. I've been there. I know how it is. It is hard. And as single moms, we have to take it day by day. My parents, um, my mom and my dad, God bless their soul, they could not take care of me and my 9 brothers and sisters. And the streets and the drugs, the addiction to drugs, it kind of overtook their ability to be parents. And when we was little, I remember having to be the parent, to my younger siblings because we didn't have any parents there. And I remember them leaving us, in dark houses because we would always move. They would leave us in dark houses on a mattress on the floor, rats crawling around, no light. I remember one time I was so thirsty that I had to drink peroxide, y'all. It tastes like water for real. And I really don't remember it making me sick or anything. Maybe it did, but I was so thirsty. We didn't have any water. I had to drink peroxide. And you know that no child should have to go through that trauma, that type of trauma. No child should have to be a parent when she's a child herself. But that was my story. And as we got older, when the state came and took us and they gave us to our grandma, our grandmother, and our grandfather, we went to live with them. And I remember saying when we sat down at the table and we sat down to eat, and I told my siblings, I said, y'all, we got to eat everything on our plate because we don't know when we will have a next meal. And I remember my granddad telling me, like, you never have to worry about food around here. Like, you're always going to eat here. You never have to worry about food around here. And that was just my mindset because of what I went through. Like, I was raised in lack. I was raised in true poverty. Like, I was raised in trying to be the provider when I didn't have anything to give myself. So as a result of that, as I got older, because I had a scarcity mindset, I settled in relationship after relationship. I lacked the self esteem to understand that, hey, sex does not equate to love. A man telling you that you're sexy or that you're fine does not equate to love. I lacked the self esteem and the self love to understand that because I lacked a parental father figure in my life, even a parental, mother figure. I lacked that. So I had a scarcity mindset. Was it my fault? No. Um, but it was just how I was raised. So I settled at jobs, jobs. I worked in the strip club. I settled doing that to, make ends meet. In as opposed to using my mind, I settled with using my body because I at that time I didn't see any other way. I didn't even know it was possible for me to use my mind and my gifts and my talents. I just looked to my body because I was, that's just how shallow I was. That's just how scarce my thinking was. I settled in neighborhoods I had no business living in. Now it's a different um from living in a hood when you want to versus excuse me, when you have to. But because I had a scarcity mindset, and because I was always raised in hood places, and we always moved. I that the hood is all I saw. Okay, my rent gonna be $375. Okay, sound good to me. I don't care that it's in a drug infested place and I have a small son. I wasn't really thinking about that because I didn't have the ability to think on that level. So that's how my upbringing created my scarcity mindset. Now, was it my fault? No, but as I got older and as I allowed Jesus to take the wheel, he changed my mind. He transformed my mind. So how do we switch our thinking from scarcity to abundance? Even when we were raised in scarcity, even when we don't know any other way, even when we are single mothers and we don't know how we're going to pay next month's rent or how we're going to pay that car note. Even when we're single mothers and we don't know how we're going to get out of this dead end job, how we're going to make a better life for our kids, we just don't know. So how do we switch our thinking from scarcity to abundance? Now, even if you're in a place right now where you just don't know how, like I know even like not even long ago, like last year, I used to lay in the bed like, I just feel like a failure. I feel like I'm failing my son. But I used to get on social media and on YouTube and tell other single mothers, you are not a failure. You are not a failure as long as you do not stop, as long as you do not give up. But I wasn't telling myself that. I wasn't where I wanted to be. I'm thinking like, okay, I uprooted my son from our hometown where we were doing good, and I moved us to Texas, and yet I don't feel like I made any progress. Like, why am I doing this? And as soon it was plenty of times I wanted to give up, plenty of times I wanted to turn around and go back home to my comfort zone, to what I knew, but I didn't. And I stayed and I prayed and I was faithful. I'm like, God, you got to make a way. And He changed my situation. He switched it around. Now, to everyone who's on YouTube, I told y'all I did a video on Sunday and I gave that whole testimony about, how I was facing an eviction and just last year and how now I'm, financially stable. I don't have to really worry about money and my bills are paid up. I gave that testimony and I'm going to give it again on live this Sunday if y'all can tune in for Sunday encouragement and let y'all know why you should keep going no matter what. But mindset is not a secret, y'all. It isn't a secret that the right or wrong mindset can influence your life course. Our thoughts turn into feelings, and our feelings turn into actions, and our actions turn into habits. Now, last year when I was laying there, no, we'll take it all the way back, from my upbringing, from, when I was working in the clubs, when I was, dealing with different men. If I would have looked over my life and wallow in self-pity and allow my feelings of defeat, my feelings of failure to turn into actions, then I would have stayed there and thought that there was no better way. I would have stayed in that lifestyle, in that mindset. And I probably wouldn't be here talking to y'all today. I would not be here talking to y'all today. So in order to create a mindset for abundance, it starts with the transformation of our mind. We just have to become aware of our thoughts, those self-defeating thoughts, those thoughts of being a victim. And they gonna come. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, those thoughts, if those thoughts come, you just, it's something wrong with you, because they're going to come. But your job is to be aware of when they come. And we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Now, let's talk about a single mother who has struggled in her finances for years. She believes that she will never get out of that rat race. So she quit trying. And it's easy. Life beat us down so bad sometimes as single moms. Like, you just don't know, you just can't even see past your situation and past your circumstances, and it get hard sometimes. So that single mother, she gives up on her dreams, she gives up on her goals, and then she continues to work the three jobs, that she's working to take care of her kids. And then that just, it goes on for so long until she looks up and her kids are grown, and she looked back over her life and she began to regret. She began to regret, like, I had dreams, I had goals, I should have done differently. I coulda, woulda, shoulda, but by then it's too late. Her feeling, which was defeat. Her belief, it was negative. Her belief was that she would never get ahead. Her action was giving up and settling. Her habit was continuing to settle for the dead end job. Now, one of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 23 says, as a man thinketh in his heart. Hey, pretty. Hey, Miss Pretty. on Instagram, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. How we think about the world around us, how we think about ourselves, it influences how we learn, it influences how we cope with stress, it influences how we pursue our dreams, and it influences how resilient we are when we go through life challenges that we are going to go through. Now, when we talk about an abundance mindset, we not talking about worldly things such as you're rich, you have all the money, all the houses, all the cars. We're talking about the idea that there is enough in the world for you to grab for yourself while you also share with others. Now, when we create the mindset for abundance as single moms, we don't only encourage our personal development, but we also believe what God say about us. Now we can let I want to give y'all another example. So when I had a scarcity mindset because I didn't know any better because it was all I knew, then in the men I dated or the men I had situationships with, right? Sometimes a man would come along and I knew that he was no good for me. I knew that he was not feeling me in that way. It was only a sexual thing. But because I had a scarcity mindset, I didn't know of the abundance of gifts and talents and things that I brought to the table. I settled. I settled with him like, okay, he's cute. He have a nice car. He wants me. So you know what? I'm gonna stay around. I'm gonna be his little, buddy, friend with benefits, whatever he want, I'ma be it because I had a scarcity mindset. Now it's up to you to create an abundance of mindset. It's up to us. Nobody can do it for us. If you had a similar upbringing to myself, or if life has always thrown you lemons, or life has always thrown darts your way, then we cannot sit in the victim mentality. Like we cannot say, well, life just doesn't, life never gives me a chance. Or every time I try to take 3 steps forward, I get knocked 4 steps backwards. And it may be true. But the problem comes in when we sit there, when we think, when we're a victim, when we feel like people owe us something because of what we've been through, because we're single mothers. Yeah, we're single mothers. Yes, it's hard, but we have to do the work and it's our job and our ability to change our mind from the scarcity mindset to the abundance mindset because nobody's going to do it for us. Nobody's going to do it for us. If you don't, people going to walk all over you. That's what's going to happen. So, how do we do it? I already said, number one, we have to create awareness. So, more specifically, we have to be aware of what we're thinking. It was a time when I used to wallow in self pity, but I still do. But I give myself a minute. Then I gotta snap out of it sometimes. Like I used to always think, like, wow, every man who was in my life, they betrayed me. They abandoned me from my dad, who was supposed to teach me the way of this world, who was supposed to teach me about men, who was supposed to teach me what not to do, how valuable I am, how loved I am. He betrayed me. And then when we were moved to my grandparents, God bless his soul, there was verbal abuse there. There was, sexual abuse. There was physical abuse, abuse. So as a young woman, what am I supposed to think when it comes to men? I was never shown love. I was never shown that I'm beautiful, that I'm valuable, that I have something to offer other than my body or sex. I was never shown that. So of course I'm a wallow in self pity, and my self esteem is, at one point it was it was non-existent. I was so down bad on myself, thinking like, okay, every single man, for some reason, they're going to abandon me. They're going to use me. They're going to mistreat me. So before they even did, I allowed them to, or, I thought they would. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. And that's how I thought. But when I became aware that I was thinking like that and God helped me to transform my mind, I became aware. I began to decipher my thoughts. So I was able to determine how my negative thoughts was influencing me. Like I said, because I thought the man was going to do what my dad and my granddad did, I kind of put myself in a position to allow them to, because that's what I was thinking. That's what I thought about myself. So when I became aware of this mindset, God helped me to take steps to correct it. So that was the area of my life, with men and relationships. It was way off because of my self-esteem, and I had to become aware of those thoughts, and I had to change them into more positive thoughts, telling myself what God say about me. I am loved. I am valuable. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am confident. I am a wife, even though I ain't a wife yet, but I'm a wife. But so then you have to think about the possibilities. Focus is so important, especially as single moms, but it's also important for us to remain open-minded about the unlimited possibilities around us. If we are too focused on one single thing, then it's easy to miss all the other opportunities. So we have to expand our awareness as single moms. So what does that look like? For me, it looked like, of course, reading my Bible, reading books on different subjects. Like I just finished a book called From Trauma to Faith, and it was really good, y'all. It was really good, and that's what part of my message came from. And now I'm reading a book about staying healthy. It teach you about carbohydrates, about protein, losing fat, all that type of stuff. So expand your awareness, on the things you like to do, the things that interest you. Expand your awareness on those things. Focus on all the possibilities around you. Now, this is one of my favorite. Like, I just started, really getting consistent with this in my prayer and gratitude journal. We have to practice gratitude. And I know sometimes it's so hard, for us to do, especially when we think that we don't have anything to be grateful for. But every time I open my eyes in the morning, I say, "Thank you, Lord, another day." My eyes open and it was you. I'm breathing and it's nothing that I have to do to breathe. It just automatically happened. And that is a gift. That is the first thing that I'm grateful for every morning. When my feet touch the floor. When I go wake my son up for school and he open his eyes to get up and go get ready for his day. When we make it safely, to his school, when I'm driving from point A to point B and God spares my life from an accident, I get there safely. It's so many things to be grateful for, and practicing gratitude is one of the most powerful things we can do as single moms, especially when we're trying to, change our mindset to a mindset of abundance. We can always recognize the beauty in life, what we have, and then we'll have more. But if we focus on what we don't have, then it'll always seem like we don't have enough. And that's just how we work as humans. And how I practice gratitude is I keep a prayer gratitude journal. And every morning when I'm journaling, I just journal 5 things that I'm grateful for every morning. And I think on those things and I truly feel grateful for those things. As opposed to, waking up and thinking about my problems and checking the news, which is always so depressing, and checking social media. I, just write down, thank God, and write down 5 things that I'm grateful for and think on those things. And I start my day off with a day of gratitude. Now, another way to switch your mind to a mindset of abundance is to think on purpose and passion. So if you are passionate about something and you're great at it, whether it's, doing hair, whether you do nails, whether you're a great interior designer, whatever the case may be, whatever you are good at, then that's going to help you build confidence in yourself. Like for me, when God began to transform my mind, I began trying all kind of stuff, y'all, because I didn't know what I was good at. I was doing nails. I was making jewelry. I was making soap. I was making all kind of natural body things. I started selling hair. Ain't none of it hit, so I started selling hair, y'all. I had an entire beauty salon in my house where I was doing nails, selling hair, doing hair. I was doing it all and it was banging. So if you don't know what you're passionate about, then you probably just have to try some. Don't sit still because you don't know. Take action until you figure out what it is that you're passionate about. You'll eventually find what it is. Um and when you find out what you're passionate about, it'll bring you value because you're bringing value to others. Like me doing this, talking about an abundance mindset because I've been through having a scarcity mindset. And I know that it's a big thing for single mothers because of the things that we go through in life, the hardships that we go through of doing something on our own that we are not supposed to be doing on our own. So it can easily create a scarcity mindset. But if we don't take control of it, it'll turn into, a scarcity lifestyle. Now let's talk about language. We should always be mindful of the language we use, or whether it's to others, whether it's to ourselves, whether it's to our children. You are shaping your reality. So listen to the kind of stories you're telling yourself and you're telling others. Not only that, the kind of stories our kids hear us, the words our kids hear us say, the words we tell them, they're like sponges. We have to pay attention to the words we're using and the sentiments that we're expressing in both our thoughts and our conversations. So I want to leave y'all with the word of God, our creator. But I'm gonna address. I see I have some comments. Thank y'all for commenting. Um, but Philippians 4:19 says, "My God will meet all of your needs according to the glorious riches of Christ Jesus." So if you want to start some affirmations, because what we have to do is we have to reprogram our mind. I'm 35 years old, and when I began to reprogram my mind, I was 30. That was 30 years of junk. 30 years of bad programming, like a computer virus that I had to decode and put new information in. So it takes time. So I'm still doing it. So it's gonna be a lifelong journey, but one step at a time. But what I like to do is I like to turn scripture into affirmation. So Philippians 4:19, I would say, "My God will meet all of my needs according to the glorious riches of Christ Jesus." Or like 2 Corinthians 9:8 says, "God is able to make all grace abound to you so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work." So my affirmation would say, "My God is able to make all grace abound to me so that in all things at all times I have all that I need and I will abound in every good work." Matthew 7 9 to 11 says, "Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him?" So that affirmation would be like, if I ask God for something good, I can have confidence that God is going to give it to me. So I want to say this, y'all. This is my empowering word for tonight. We cannot wait on our situations to change before we begin to feel an abundance of life. We have to see it before we feel it. We have to see it in our mind over and over again. Like when I said I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for, I actually feel the gratefulness. I feel it. And you have to picture what you want your life to be like. Picture that in your mind. Pray over that. Ask God if it's His will, if it's His plan, then order your steps. And you have to feel it. You have to feel as if you are living in that moment. Pray about that healing and see God healing you in your mind. Feel that healing. Act as if you're healed. Pray over the bigger house for you and your kids and see yourself living in it in your mind. Act as though you're living in it. Feel as though, get the feeling as if you're living in it. Tell your kids over and over, I'm going to get us a house. We're going to have a house. I'm going to get us a bigger house with a big yard, with you a basketball goal, and we're going to put the pool in the backyard. Speak it, say it, feel it, pray over it. Pray over the new car and see yourself driving it in your mind. We have to get rid of the weeds and we have to plant the seeds that God has given us. Whether we know it or not, all of us have seeds in our hands and we cannot just hold them. We have to plant them and we have to water them and give them time to grow. And as you continue to believe and trust God for the abundant life He promised you, He's going to transform your mind like he did me. I'm so grateful that He transformed my mind and I'm not the woman or the little girl that I used to be. And when He transforms your mind, your new thinking is going to transform your feelings. And when you begin to feel good and feel hopeful about you and your kids' future, then you'll begin to make actions. You'll begin to take action towards that future that you see with God's help. And then those actions that you take will turn into habits. And you're going to do that over and over again. And habits is what shape our life. Habits is what create our reality. So we got this, ladies. We are in this together. We just have to keep pushing, keep hoping, keep striving, and keep believing. And we have to break these generational curses off of our next generation. Now, Latoya, hey, from South Carolina. Imperial Faith from Georgia, need advice, and it was right on time. Well, I hope if you're still here, Imperial Faith, I hope that I was able to give some advice on what it is. Facebook user, Lyle, Mobile, Alabama. Latoya, I'm struggling to keep my faith. I'm a single mom of 3. I had a few mental downs today. Girl, I'm going to pray for you. Kingston, you'll give me a pen, please? So I do have a prayer section in my prayer gratitude journal where I write prayer requests for others. So I'm going to pray for you, Latoya. And also, y'all, the Single Mother Strong podcast, every Monday morning we do prayer, meditation, and an encouraging word. So if you have prayer requests, submit them to life@singlemother.com, and I'll leave that in the comments somewhere. So I'll pray for you in my personal time, and I also pray, during our Monday morning prayer on a podcast. But as far as mental downs, Latoya, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up because we all have them. But the key is, to be aware. Give yourself some time. Feel, you have to feel what you're feeling. And then, ask yourself, why are you feeling it? And if it's something that you can control, if it's something that you can do something about, then work on doing it. And if not, then you have to put it in God's hands. Imperial Faith said, I will be praying for you. Please keep your faith. He is faithful. I'm also a single mother, no family, but He's been faithful through and through. I have no job. Yeah, God is definitely faithful. I'm here in Texas, no family, and He's shown up many times. So since, I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I gave my testimony on the YouTube channel, but I'm going to go ahead and give it again. But just last year, y'all, I was facing an eviction. Many of you probably know, from my journey that when I came to Texas, I started a credit repair business and I also got my real estate license. However, I'm not practicing real estate right now, but I do know, I am knowledgeable about real estate. So I was facing an eviction because I quit my job last year and I started having car trouble. So 1 month of not paying my rent turned into several months, and this was during COVID. So they was the landlord people. They was really harassing me, and I was getting really scared because I'm like, we cannot be homeless. We're gonna have to go back, to Alabama. I'm going to have to move back in with my parents, and it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be embarrassing. Well, I'm going to have to move back in with my family, and it's just going to be embarrassing. And I just feel like I wasted time, failed my son, blah, blah, blah. All kind of thoughts was running through my head. So, they almost won. I was expecting for me and my son to be homeless. Like, well, not homeless. I was going to get an extended stay for a while and see how that goes. So I have a friend and we were talking and she was, God was working through her, speaking through her, because I didn't tell anybody but her and God what God knew. And she was like, you gonna be right in that apartment. Because I was looking for other apartments that didn't do all the checks, because of course they do rental checks, and my apartment was gonna be like, oh, she ain't paid her rent in months, so that wasn't gonna work. She was like, girl, you just need to sit down. You're going to be right in that apartment. So I was losing faith too. I'm like, God, I got myself in this situation. So will you get me out of it? I was doubting that God would get me out because I got myself in it. So, but she was encouraging me, like, you just need to be still. You're going to be right there at that apartment next year. So, like I said, I was planning on getting up and running. Like, I was about to go in and extend the stay. I don't know how that would have been, but I reached out to an attorney. It was a free attorney. And then I pulled my real estate books back out to look up the eviction laws. And the real estate attorney, God was working through her too, because she was like, it was free. Well, free on my part. I know she got paid some kind of way, but not by me. But she just kept reaching out to me, giving me updates. I even had an eviction date, y'all. I had an eviction date. It was on Zoom because this was during a pandemic. So I was ready for she was like, I think we could get it dismissed because what she say? I think we can get it dismissed because they didn't do something when they filed the eviction. She was like, just show up to the eviction. So I was planning on, I had faith in her that she was gonna get it dismissed, but on the day of the eviction, like an hour before, she emailed me and said the eviction case was canceled. And I received a letter and they said they're going to reschedule it. It was canceled until further notice. So that was that. So I was chilling, but the landlord people still coming to knock on my door, like, you owe this much, you gotta pay or you gotta get out, blah, blah, blah. It's stressful and it was scary because I didn't know. So long story short, I had booked this in to stay. I got a storage and I had packed our stuff. Like I was real deal packing. It was the day before we were supposed to move completely out and move in and extended stay. And my landlord called not the landlord, but the attorney called me. She was like, I don't think you should leave. I think you should stay. I don't think you should leave. You should stay because if you leave, then they are really going to they're really going to be able to file a judgment against you for their past due rent. So you should stay. So I'm like, okay, I'm going, with what you say. A month later, y'all, rent got paid. My throat dry, y'all. Rent got paid a month later. I'm talking about all of it. Back paid all of it. And it got paid because even though I was losing faith, Latoya, like you, I was losing faith in God because of my situation, but I had faith as small as a mustard seed. And God was using people to help me to be still and know that He is God, and He worked that situation out. And because He worked that situation out, I am in a whole nother financial place today. A whole different financial place, prepare for my future, prepare for a better future for me and my son, because I'm able to do that right now because I had faith as small as a mustard seed. And I trusted God and I was still, and I knew that He was God. So I hope that kind of, help. I don't know exactly what you're going through, but I hope that kind of help you, get an ounce of, more faith and just know that God is still God, no matter how it looks. He's in the midst. He's already got it worked out, because my situation was already worked out. Even when I was late on that first car payment, God already, that was not a surprise to God. As the months started rolling by, when I couldn't catch up, it wasn't a surprise to him. And Pin Your Face said, Latoya, you got to start rejoicing, girl. Start rejoicing. Lisa, hey, Lisa. I was just sitting in bed. I don't know if y'all are still on. I'm just catching up on the comments. I was just sitting in bed thinking about how me and my children have no one but God. I will pray for you, ladies, because what we go through is not easy. It's really not easy. And you know what, Lisa? When you have nobody but God, you're in the best place that you can be in, because God can do some things in your life that He is not able to do when you have a lot of people around you. So you can start rejoicing too right now. Um, Me and my son, we have our family, but they're not here. They're not a call away. Like this morning, I woke up with a flat tire. We was headed downstairs. We went downstairs, and I was about to take him to school, and the tire is flat. So I had no one to call, like no one. And the first thing that went through my mind, I ain't panic or nothing, y'all. I'm like, dang, I need a man. I said, I need a man for situations like this. And then God, I just, kind of sensed God, like, no, you don't. I am the man. I am. So, I had to call AAA. I was supposed to sign up. They kept sending me stuff in the mail to sign up for roadside assistance. And I was supposed to do it months ago, y'all, but I never did. I was procrastinating. So because I didn't sign up months ago, I had to sign up today, and I had to pay a fee for using the service on the same day as sign up. So if God is showing you something to do, then sacrifice and do it, because you never know, you don't know how soon down the road you're going to need it. Start looking for other cities with better job opportunities. Even if you relocate and have to start off at a shelter, take advantage of resources. Lincoln, Nebraska is really nice for a new start. Ooh, is it cold there, Lisa? Yeah, I'm in Austin, and I'm I ain't gonna speak on it right now, but I'm looking for more diversity. I don't want to leave Texas, but I do want to go somewhere where there is, more diversity. Yeah, you're right, Imperial Faith. The victim mindset does not allow growth. It keeps you stuck. Thank you, Lisa. God bless you, girl. Yeah, this wisdom came with a price. This wisdom comes with a price, but glory to God. And sometimes it's so crazy, because I could go through something and I could get the wisdom from it, but it'll be something dumb I go through because I put myself in a situation and I get the wisdom, but I turn around and do the same dumb thing again. I know God be in heaven just shaking his head. Hey, Keisha. We are definitely all in this together, y'all. I like to say that we all have we really all have the same struggles, just in a different, they just come in a different form. All the same struggles, especially as women, like we all have the same struggles, just in a different form. Yes, Holly K, prayer changes things. Keep talking to God and visualizing, things will get better. He will. Yes, he will. Imperial Faith, I'm glad that the testimony helped you. Okay, Lisa, I'm glad y'all still here. I like one day I just wanna I don't know. I want to see where everybody is at so that we can all meet. Yeah, it's not cold here yet, Lisa. And right now, as we speak, I'm sweating, y'all, because my air is not working. The air conditioner went out, and the maintenance saying they can't fix it because the weather have to be like 80 or 90 so they can read if it need more freon. It's crazy to me, but I'm gonna put in a maintenance request every single day until they come fix my air. Thankfully, it's not in the 90s and hundreds anymore, so thank God for that. I bet Nebraska is beautiful, Lisa, and I'm pretty sure that they have, an abundant amount of jobs there. I definitely want to visit, but as far as living there, I don't know if I could take the weather. I'm a down south girl. Yeah, we definitely need to meet up, Holly. All right, ladies. So where I am, it's 8:45. So I know that we have to get off and get ourselves ready for work and get the kiddos ready for school in the morning if you have young age kids like me. But again, we got this, ladies. We are in this together. I want just keep pushing, keep hoping, keep striving, and keep believing. But whatever we do, we cannot give up. We cannot give up on ourselves. Giving up on our life is definitely not an option. Um, we have our kids to look to. Tomorrow can be way better than today. You just never know. So keep pushing. I love y'all as always. Imperial Faith, yes, I'm thinking about it. I think that's really going to be my next move. I'm praying about it and I'm thinking about it. Ladies, if before I go, if you haven't signed up for the Single Mother Strong Weekly Empowerment Newsletter, you can sign up to that, and I send you out empowerment and encouragement every single week. I'll leave that link in the description. If you would like to connect with me, then you can head over to singlemotherlife.com and select work with me, and we can connect. And also, like I said before, if you have prayer requests, don't forget to submit them to life singlemother@gmail.com. And then tune in to the Single Mother Strong podcast, where every single Monday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, we have prayer, we have meditation, and just encouragement, for us single moms, and it's live. If you can't tune in that early, I understand. I can barely get up that early, y'all, but it's a sacrifice. You can watch listen to the replay as you're headed to work. And then on Thursday nights, tomorrow night, we have live segments um on a podcast related to single mother wellness. It's not video, it's just audio over on the podcast. And I would love for y'all to tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll leave the links in the comments. So I love you, ladies, as always. Keep going, stay strong, and God bless y'all. I'm praying, Latoya, I got you on my prayer list. If anybody else have prayer requests, send them to lifesinglemother at Gmail. I love y'all. We do this every single Tuesday night. Have a good night, y'all.